better stop doing that, or I'm going to tell your mother. But what would your father say if he saw you doing what you are doing right now? Boy, these words rang out on Saturday afternoons and any given Sunday. And that's the way it was in the old neighborhoods. You see, after school clothes came off, play clothes went on, and boy, the neighborhood, it was filled with love and laughter and a bunch of learning experiences. Yeah, some growing pains that went down, and all the boys in the hood and all the around the way girls, we were out there. We were building a community, and we were strong too. And inside that community, inside the old neighborhood, we knew it took a village to be able to raise us all. Did you guys ever have someone in the neighborhood that can put you in check and let you know that I see you, I see what you are doing, but now these newfangled neighborhoods, the neighbors aren't neighborly at all. No, they're not. And matter of fact, mind your business is the new mantra. Nosy gets you nowhere, and snitches get stitches. That's the way that it is nowadays. Can I borrow a cup of sugar? Can you just give me a couple eggs, neighbor? Gimme got his neck broke. You see, the old neighborhood was different, but the neighborhood didn't leave us, did it? It was some of us, most of us, who left the old neighborhood. And I think we should talk about it. So come on, cousins, and let's pod about it.
In a world fraught with confusion, one man will break his silence. There was only one man for the job.
Come on, cousins, let's pod about it.
Oh, welcome to the funkiest show this side of the Pecos, baby. Who, me? I'm just your tour guide and your liaison for this journey that we call life. Yes, this is the Word to the Wise podcast, and I am your host, Terry Patrick. Thank you guys for tuning in for another wonderful episode as we drop episode number 51. I hope you guys enjoyed the big 50. We had episode 50 that was out there, and it was called Mentorship. I am your mentor. Do you have one? And if not, I think you not only need one, but you should probably get yourself 3. This is the 51st episode, and I got a great topic for you guys. You know, it's about neighborhoods, and it's about community. It's about us as people. Some of us have went ahead and moved on, and the neighborhood is still there, holding on and holding strong. And I got to give it up to 2 people who have held strong in my life and helped my upbringing in that neighborhood. Yeah, I got to give it up for Pops and Fat Mama. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, to the people who I feel like were pillars in my neighborhood. I want you to think back a little bit. Take a moment. Close your eyes, and I want you to think back on your childhood street. Maybe it had cracked sidewalks and the corner store, you know, the one that had the best candy stash, or maybe you had the candy lady in your neighborhood. Maybe you had that one neighbor that always yelled at people, "Don't walk on my grass." Yeah. And then you had that other neighbor that would patrol that neighborhood. Watched us kids where we out there, doing our devilment, cutting the bug. Yeah, and they will let you know, I see what you're doing. I see you, and I will tell. Did you have people in your neighborhood that your parents had given permission to whoop your butt. Did you have those folks? You see, nowadays, I think kids, they spend a lot of time inside. And it wasn't the kids who did that to themselves. No, it was grown-ups, especially those evil and despicable people out there, men and women, that made it so dangerous. So dangerous for an unattended child to even just play in their front yard by themselves. They'll come up in your yard and take your kid. What about riding your bike by yourself? We used to ride our bicycles across town. I don't think our parents knew how far we were going. We were on one side of town, the north end, and we would be on the south side of town over at the boys club or riding around up and down, going and visiting all kind of other parks. But we knew you better be home when the street lights come on. And if you close your eyes and you think about your old neighborhood, what do you see? Whether it was good or it was not so good, as they used to say. But you remember, it was a community. It was a neighborhood. And yes, some fights went down. Yes, there was some arguments that happened. There was also a lot of disagreements, but for the most part, man, don't you come around here from somewhere else starting something. The neighborhood would come together on you, boy. And when it did, you did not want the necessary to occur. I love the fact that the neighborhoods were strong and they got their strength from the people and us, boys, the young men. We were told at a very, very young age, protect this block. But that mentality is gone, is it not? There are some, yeah, they're still out there. But what happened? Why did so many people leave? Because I think if we had the gathering, the accumulative mind and economic power that we have for all the people who left the neighborhood, if they were to come back to the neighborhood, how much stronger would it be? But maybe some of you have no connection to your neighborhood at all. Did you bounce around? Were you that kid? I love to hear from you in the comments section. I love for you to just drop a comment and let me know. Did you grow up in a tight-knit neighborhood? Or was your neighborhood one that, this is my neighborhood this year. Next year it's going to be a different school. Next year it might even be a different city. Do you have that close-knit neighborhood background in your upbringing? I would love to be able to hear from you guys. I would love for you to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel as well. Because see, when I think about the neighborhood, I think about the close-knit of sections inside the neighborhood. Yes, we even found ways to have some separatism inside of our old neighborhoods. You had this side, you had that side. I grew up in a neighborhood where we had Gateway and the North End. Now, we all was just one tiny square. But we had Gateway and we had the North End. We would come up with ways to be able to separate ourselves when we were just one people. And the same thing was probably happening over there on the other side, in the dream homes or Crosley tracks or veterans tracks and all these different places. But on the North End Gateway Estates, we came together when we needed to. But for the most part, man, we used to love competition. Yeah, we used to have a competition, football games against each other, baseball games, bike racing, track racing against each other on different sides of the neighborhood. And also we used to do something called casing or just cracking jokes, talking bad about each other. And we would just bring up everything we could about the other side. Yeah, you guys got all them cracks in your streets. Look at all them cracks in your road and your sidewalk. Oh, yeah, well, at least we got cement lights and you guys still got wooden poles. You got wooden poles for your street lights. And the neighborhood, man, was, you better be good. You better have a thick skin, because man, them dogs would cap on you and make you feel bad about yourself if you had wear your feelings on your sleeve. But it was all in jest. It was all in good fun. And later we start seeing the migration. Some didn't migrate at all. Some died right there on those neighborhood streets. Some got shipped off. Whether they went to the military and get themselves a career and try to just get away as much as they possibly could, or there were some that went off to college, man, to get a higher education. I got to get out of this place. The world is a big world. I want to see some of it. And they went off to college and they got their degree. They got an education. And then there were some that went to prison. Yeah. Back in my old neighborhood, judge was handing out years like it was Halloween candy. 10 years for you, 15 years, 20 to life. Yeah, 50 with an L. All these things that were happening inside the judicial system. And people left one way or the other. But for the most part, most people left just because of the job. So I want to break it down for you. What happened to the magic of the old block? It was some magic out there. But then all of a sudden change just comes knocking. Let's just fast forward a little bit, a couple neighborhoods, and just look at some decades. The neighborhood feels different. It feels different for some of us who felt like it got gentrified. And the reason was, see, we had these issues inside of the neighborhood and the old hood and the block, but it seems like the tax dollars were not coming back to the neighborhood. Tax-paying citizens lived there. But the money didn't get put back into the neighborhood. It got put downtown. So downtown looks clean and pristine. And boy, we used to have to get out there, and we had cleanup days. We had days when the pillars of the community, cats like Sonny, would go and get a bunch of dumpsters and drive them up and have them set out. Had the city set some dumpsters up in this neighborhood, and we're going to have cleanup day. Anything, bulk trash that you need to throw away, everybody cleaned out their garage, cleaned out their front yard, cleaned it, and we, the neighborhood, had to do it because the city wouldn't do it for us. But they had the money. But the money didn't come to us. But now all of a sudden, when you start seeing people migrate out, now all of a sudden the city has money to gentrify those neighborhoods. Let's fix it up now. Decades later. Why? Why couldn't that been done when we were there? And the jobs. I think that's why a lot of people had to go elsewhere to try to find themselves a livable wage. The work wasn't there. They would not build industries, not manufacturing plants. So the opportunities for advancement, higher education, or to be of service to this nation, it was elsewhere outside of the neighborhood. And we'd always viewed it, ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with getting out the hood. That was a lot of people's dreams. What about those that are left behind? I want to hear from you guys. Can you please respond? Drop a comment inside this comment section right here on YouTube at The T Patrick. Or you can find me over there on TikTok at Cat Daddy in the Mix. Yes, when they left, what happened to you? Did you see an increase in police presence? This was something that happened? Because I remember back in our day, the police, yes, they would roll on the neighborhood. They patrolled us a little bit more than other neighborhoods, a little bit more than the downtown area. They would come to our neighborhood looking to do exactly what I said, try to get your face inside the system, pull you over for a window tint. Yes, say that you got a cracked tail light. My tail light isn't crack, Billy Club, crack. Now it is. Gonna have to come downtown on a fix-it ticket. This is a fix-it ticket. You just want my face in the database. They're doing it younger and younger and younger. Now they are pulling over, middle schoolers. Why? Get you in the system. The prison pipeline is in full effect. They want you to go from grade school now to being in the system. So if they prey on the neighborhood and do not place any funding in said neighborhood and do not put any job opportunities in said neighborhood, the neighborhood comes to feel a little bit undesirable. But it wasn't the neighborhood fault. The hood didn't leave us. It didn't, you guys. The hood didn't leave us. We left. So those of you who stayed behind, I want to hear your story. If you would like to be a guest here on Word to the Wise, I want to know, what was it like? Because I don't have your story. I do know that it was the rising cost of living that was a problem. Also, it was a displacement that was a problem. Now I'm stuck with this rock in a hard place inside my head and my heart and my spirit. Nostalgia versus reality. Was the hood ever great at all to begin with? Because yes, we did have a crew that ran around with each other. Did we really have each other's backs? The old heads, they were telling us one thing, and some of us tried to tell us right, but there were many who didn't. There was many that promoted hustling, struggling, and let you know, hey, you can make it here, then you can make it anywhere when you living in this fishbowl. Some of us felt like I gotta get out of here. I gotta swim, man. I gotta really stretch my fins. Like, no, you gotta make it here. When the opportunity it wasn't there, but they made it seem like this is the best thing for you. Nostalgia. Yeah, I think about the reality of it is what happened, especially in my neighborhood. It's a lot that went down on how we ended up in the same place in the first place. A lot of us migrated from the deep south and came to Southern California. Went from the deep south to Southern California. Yeah, from sharecropping to Section 8 and Section 14. I don't know enough about Section 14, but I knew that my parents used to say used to be a lot of little pig trails, and they wouldn't allow us to live anywhere in the city. They wouldn't allow us to just pick a home. No. It was redlined and gerrymandered, and you must live here. And it was the Agua Caliente Indians who provided that land. And in that land, they came and they said, you know what? This is a prime piece of real estate, baby. Oh, this is downtown, right by the convention center and not too far from the airport, and everything is centrally located. We can use this land. And took it. Didn't buy people out. No, they just took the land. And know how they took it? It was the mayor who did it. Yeah, Bogart. It was the mayor and the fire department. See, we talk about the police a lot, but the fire department did some dirty stuff too. Way back in the 50s and 40s, and 60s. They burned people's houses. You went to school, you went to work, and came back, your house was on fire. And then they let it burn to the ground. All my stuff is in there. Everything I own is in the house, in the neighborhood. This is my home. Bulldozed it. Broke it down to its last compound, left with nothing but a lot there. There's some people out there in my old neighborhoods that are fighting against that still right today. You did us dirty. It wasn't just Tulsa. It wasn't just Rosewood. No, it was Section 14 in Palm Springs, yes. And you know what? The city, y'all, because forced everybody to the old side on the north side, and then the north end, and then had a big fight over, can we get into Gateway, and finally expanded a little bit. Yes, that's the way that it was. And it was always the black church that was the backbone of the neighborhood. Is it still? Is the church still the refuge? Is it the lighthouse? Is it the pillar of strength? The black church. And or if you were not black and you were Hispanic, the Hispanic church. The church is where we went and got refueled. Is it still that? Or is it turned into something else? Because as soon as we start doing these things, we look back and we see the nostalgia and the good times. But we got to realize that, sometimes the only thing good about the good old days is that they are gone. I remember the block parties. I was the DJ. We used to have block parties, baby. Block off the whole street in the cul-de-sac. Yes, we used to have kickball competitions and all kinds of things. We used to have parties and house parties. And if you were struggling to make ends meet, man, just throw a party and charge people a couple of dollars, man. Yes, and we will set it off and we will have a good time. Put some meat on the grill. And then we had car clubs, man, and bicycle clubs and man, skateboard seasons and flying kites, the nostalgia. Who is the pillar of the community now? Is the community center still standing? See, if you drive back through your old neighborhood, you'll see some changes. You see maybe a park looks smaller than what it used to be. It used to look so big, but now the park may look small. You may have memories that they can never take away up and down those streets. But we got to do something to rebuild those neighborhoods, because these new neighborhoods that we live in, these gated communities and everything else that they have built around the old neighborhood, all these new houses, they aren't neighbors. They aren't neighborhoods. No, they just individual entities with people that are living in them. They don't have a neighborhood community anymore. They don't have that mentality. What can we do? I think that when Big Mama and them passed, things start changing for the worse a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's the grandmamas that got younger. Yeah, grandmama is in her 30s now. Is that it? Because who's that matriarch? Who's that patriarch? Who is that one that is giving us that sound advice? Don't you do that. I'll tell your mama. I'll tell your grandmama. How you going to do that and grandmama at the club with you? Yeah, so is it that the age group is getting younger? Is there a forgotten generation? Right now. Yeah, you know the ones I'm talking about? They're young. Grandparents tried to retire, couldn't, had to go back. Parents done gave the kids to the grandparents. Now the grandparents are back to work. The parents are, if you say something more to your kids, then I'll be back. Maybe they'll have that influence. Who's raising them? Kids are in the bedroom being raised by AI, by technology, by television, by all these streaming services. Yes, they're being raised and getting a bombardment of information from hip-hop artists who were instructed like puppets and marionettes. Sex, drug, money, murder. Sex, drugs, money, murder. That is the message. And if you hear that through the ear canal, and it just sits there inside your brain for a while, and all you hear is a bunch of profane talking all the time, it becomes your vernacular. It becomes part of your speech. Yes, so the neighborhood, it started off with kindness. Be kind to one another. And all the heroes that we had, they're gone. They're gone, but we need to get that neighborhood back. Yes, I believe that there is a way, and this is the way. Here's the answer to the test. I know we struggle with family reunions, but what do you guys think about a neighborhood reunion? What do you think about a big neighborhood reunion where all the people who have moved away come back? Come back. Stop trying to be a colonel and just come back to the cob. Let's have a neighborhood reunion. Drop a like, drop a comment, drop a heart. Give me a thumbs up if you will go to a neighborhood reunion. And it don't have to be every year. It can be every other year. People got lives, they got businesses, they got entrepreneurship, they got jobs they have to do, they got responsibilities. But man, we could have a neighborhood reunion, bring the block party back. And let's just get out there as old heads and young heads and as the new generation and the nostalgic generation and come together and maybe even have a big conversation. It'll start small. Yes, and it'll get bigger. And I know this may be a very, very simple fix to a complex problem. But I don't think it's very small at all. It's simple, but it will work. What do you guys think, cousins? Do you think that the neighborhood that we live in now, these gated communities, these communities that we live in now, do you think that they will ever compare to nostalgia of your childhood neighborhood? I think we can get that mentality back. And I think we need to bring all the resources because we went off to the military, we went off to college, we went off to these grand careers. And some of us even went off and got incarcerated and came back with us knowledge in the school of hard knocks and got a lot to offer. Bring us all back. It's going to take a village. And the village is here. Because these times, they not getting no easier, ladies and gentlemen. They are not getting easier at all. And when the tough gets going, man, if your back is against the wall, find your folks. Find your folks. Hey, and I'm glad you guys found me right here, man. I'm glad you found old cousin Terry. And I just want you guys to know that I'm out here. I'm doing it. I'm doing it how it should be done. And I will always be right here on every single Wednesday. And I'm going to give it to you how you should get it. Yes, it's a jungle out here, but I am swinging like Tarzan, baby. And I got your back like vertebrae. Bring back the old neighborhoods. Bring back the old heads and the young heads. Yeah, let's all get together. Yeah, the boys in the hood and the round the way girl and all the folks that are out there still swinging. Keep your dukes up, y'all. Because this is our time, and we are back. Come get it right here on Word to the Wise. All right.
I hope you like the podcast and you really like the podcast.
Come on, be serious.